I think that for all of the disinformation and misinformation and propaganda on Fox News, they have to be included in the sort of normative window of what news is in America. I'm on the board of an organization called NewsGuard, which does these kind of good housekeeping seal of approvals on news sites, so that, and you can put it in your browser, and they evaluate, I mean, something like 2,000 news sites, domestic and foreign, to just say, hey, this site is kosher, and as opposed to some that are not. They don't evaluate every story. But if you don't give Fox News whatever good housekeeping seal of approval as a news organization where you should evaluate the content, but no matter where you get your news, you need to evaluate the veracity of the content, then we're really, really, really polarized, right? You're saying that the news source of a large percentage of Americans that they trust is completely polluted and should be, taken off the air, basically. I don't think we can do that. As much as I don't like or support Fox News, they still, there are many, many, many journalists who work there, many, many, many people who are good journalists who are trying to report things fairly. They have even some of their, stars are people who, I mean, how many times has Chris Wallace?
Chris Wallace is maybe the best anchor out there working.
And unfortunately, the guy who just announced that he was leaving, Shep Smith.
Isn't that his last name, Smith?
Yeah. So I think, by the way, does that speak more to the audience when Shep Smith or Chris Wallace grills a Trump administration official and says you're saying falsehoods than Rachel Maddow doing that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so, to that audience. So I think, yes, I'd like them to be better. Yes, I think they fall for, in part because of confirmation bias, conspiracy theories like the Seth Rich thing, which is inexcusable. But it's part of our news ecosystem, for better or for worse, and we have to hold them accountable, just like we have to hold news organizations that are on the other end of the spectrum accountable.
But the Democrats don't have anything similar.
Oh, I think they do sometimes.
Well,
I mean, so my complaint, we'll go to the next question, but this idea that you have to give both sides of the view, even when the other side is just not a side, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's a problem on all of the news networks right now.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I talk about. The press's reflex towards balance is used by the bad guys, because it's like when Putin says there are no Russian troops in Crimea, everybody reports that. They have to report it. And I used to say to Foreign Service officers, there aren't two sides to a lie. You don't have to give both sides. But, if there was a guy, but, I watch CNN, I don't go on CNN, but, if during the campaign a Trump person said the moon is made out of green cheese, they would have a scientist on to say, no, the moon is made out of rock. But they'd also have a scientist saying, yes, I think the moon is made out of green cheese.
Well, the scientists would be in
balance,
quotes.
right?
Yeah.
No, that's not balance.
Yeah, no, exactly.
A falsehood doesn't have two sides. So I think the bad guys manipulate this reflex towards balance, but I think journalists have to realize, balance isn't a virtue when one side is factually incorrect.
Right. Thank you.